That's just kind of the gist. So if they ask you, like, find the geometric mean of something, it's essentially, like, so find the geometric mean of two numbers. You basically put it in this formula. You put x on the diagonal and then the two numbers on the other diagonal. Okay, and then you solve it. So I'm just going to go into the examples because I think it's easier if you just do that. But like for, like I said, so it says find the geometric mean between the two numbers. You just set up a proportion, put the numbers on one diagonal and then the x's on the other diagonal and cross multiply. Okay, so I'll show you how it relates to like the pictures and the shapes of things. But all you're doing, cross multiply, you get x squared equals, and then you could multiply that out, but we're gonna have to do simplest radical form for everything. So I'm just gonna leave the 5 and the 45 for now. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna square root both sides. And the geometric mean is always positive, so you don't have to deal with the plus or minus stuff. Like when we did quadratics, that we were like graphing it, so there was like a negative x and a positive x sometimes. This one, it's just, we're dealing with like length, so we only do the positive. So as far as like finding the pairs, like you could do 5, and then 45 is 5 times 9. So 9 is 3 and 3. Oh, it was a perfect square. Dang it. Oh well. Because see, I get a 5 and a 3 out. So that means that I don't have anything left with the radical, so the radical's gone. So my x is just 5 times 3, 15. Right. So the geometric mean between 5 and 45 is 15. I know that doesn't really mean anything to you, but that's what a geometric mean is. Okay, then you do the same thing with 12 and 15. So you can probably just work ahead. You're going to put 12 and 15 on one diagonal, and then x and x on the other. It really doesn't matter. You could have had them switched. But as long as when you cross multiply, you get x squared equals 12 times 15. And then you're going to do the square root and the pairs and all that jazz to get the answers. So you're going to square root both sides, and you get x equals square root. And then 12 is 4 times 3, so 4 is 2 times 2. So 4 times 3 is 12, and then 15 is 3 times 5. So then you've got a pair of 2s, a pair of 3s. So you get 2 times 3, and then root 5. So 6. 6 root 5 is the geometric mean between 12 and 15. Okay, so there's like one question on the test that says find the geometric mean between the two numbers. That's all you do. Okay. What's cool with this is like kind of crazy how this works out, but like if you have a right triangle, so I know it's like kind of weirdly drawn, but if you have a right triangle and you draw an altitude from the right angle to the hypotenuse side. So if you draw this line, what it does is it breaks, like all the triangles in that picture are all similar to each other. So like this little dinky guy is similar to this medium one, which is similar to this huge one. So it's kind of weird how that works out. So like what we're doing for solving stuff is you're basically dealing with like 3 right triangles, a small one, a medium, and a big one. And then you're going to like set up proportions. So you just match up the sides basically. So like for this one, we're not like solving anything. We're just going to redraw the triangles. Please draw them the same every time. Like what I do, no matter what my picture looks like, I'll draw a real little guy with an obvious short leg and an obvious long leg. So I don't want to make mistakes and mess up the numbers. And then I'm going to do a medium, which is a little bigger, but I'm going to make an obvious short leg, an obvious long leg, and then the biggest one. So this one, obviously, I'm a little obnoxious with. I have a lot of space, so might as well. So that's what you're going to do. So it's like you're going to look at this picture and like kind of rotate it in your head and redraw them every time. So like this first guy, is this. Here's your little guy is right here. So what I do is like J is like the one with the box. So J goes here, and then across the short leg is F, and then G is like the pointiest part. I don't know how you want to explain that. So you kind of have to like rotate it in your head a little bit, and then now you're going to do the same thing with the medium. So the medium is like the one next to it. This is the medium guy. So I usually start with the right angle. So J has the right angle on there. And then G is like across the short leg. And then H is like the pointy part. So that's the medium. So like the two triangles like in it are like the small medium. And then the big one is like the whole thing. Like this whole thing. So again, I usually start with the box letter. So that would be G would be the box. Across the short leg is F and then H. So they're all similar. So like they're all proportional, all the sides. And all the angles are equal, corresponding angles, which is kind of weird. So it's kind of fun. Oh, we have to do a statement. Dang it. Okay, so as far as the statement goes, I don't know. It kind of depends on however you want to do it. I'll do JGF. How about JGF, oops, triangle is similar. So if I did right angle, pointy part down, you're going to go triangle JHG is similar to triangle GHF. So on the ACT, they don't usually say it's geometric mean. They'll just say, they'll like show you the markings of stuff, and then you just have to figure it out. So again, when you see these right triangles everywhere and they draw an altitude, that's how you know it's geometric mean. You're just doing like what you would normally do with similar triangles. Now you just have 3 of them. That's it. Okay, you know. So anyway, this is like an example of a problem, obviously. So you're going to have to find X. Honestly, the biggest issue is knowing like how to set up the proportion. So what I do is I'll draw these like 3 right triangles, and then I'll take all the stuff from the picture. So I usually like to draw my own boxes. I don't usually label like the T, R, S. I don't waste my time because I'm just needing to find X. So like here's your little triangle, and the short leg is 2, the long leg is X. And then I don't have anything on the hypotenuse, so I just leave it blank. And then you just keep going, like you keep moving on. So I'll do the medium one. Right, so that's like the other chunk of it. This one seems like a lot bigger than usual, but that's okay. So there's the medium one. So you kind of have to like turn it around in your head. Like, okay, what's the short leg? And the short leg is X. And then the long leg, like if I usually do the right angle part of it, and the long leg is 10. And if I'm being honest, I'm not going to do the last one because if you look at your picture, like do you see you have enough stuff to find X? Like you have enough information to, because you could do long leg, short, you know? So when I do these, I'll do like the little over the medium. And with these, you can kind of cheat to tell if you're doing it right. So I'm going to do, I don't know, I'll go short leg over short leg equals long leg over long leg. So it's basically I did short leg, long leg, right? And this is what I'm saying. You can cheat. You know you set it up right because one of your diagonals will match. Like it's either going to be X's or it'll be like 7s or like some kind of number, but the diagonals are going to match. So now what you're doing is you're just going to cross multiply. So you get X squared. I mean, you can multiply it to get 20. But you're going to have to do all the pairs and stuff. So you could just leave them separate. But you're always doing simplest radical form for like the rest of your life. Isn't that exciting? Yay. Okay. So 20 is 2 and 2 and 5. So 4 times 5. Then you get a pair. So your X is 2 root 5 done. So before we were doing 2 triangles, now I got 3. So that's it. Any questions? All right, so this is like juicier because there's like 1,000 variables, right? So this gets hard because you're like, well, this is overwhelming. But like I said, you know, these are all going to be twisted around and reflected and whatever. Figure out where your box is. So when you redraw them, okay, and then I usually do the side, like the short leg and long leg. That's my strategy. So the short leg is 5, long leg is X, hypotenuse is Y. And then I'll do the medium. And again, I always do the box first. Like I always identify the short leg and long leg first. So like here's the box, so short leg is X, long leg 20, and then hypotenuse Z. And then the giant is like the whole thing, like the big one. So this is where it can be like a little sassy because here's your box for the big one. So I usually do that first. I'll do short, Y, long, Z. And then, I mean, it's not that bad, but like the hypotenuse, just be aware that you're going to have to add these up sometimes. And sometimes it's like an X, which is annoying, you know, but you just make sure you do 5 and 20 to get 25. So, and now this is the part where you're kind of like staring at it forever, trying to like figure out like what variable to do first. So you want to try to find a proportion that's only going to have one variable with. So I'm looking like short legs that can go together with hypotenuse. And you can't do like, you either have to do the small and the medium, large, or small and large. But if you look at, where is it? Oh yeah, small and medium, you can do X. Because you've got the long, and short with only one variable in it. Like you can do the legs to match them up. So I'm going to do X first. So I'm going to do the small over the medium. And I'll do, I guess, long leg over long leg equals short leg over short leg. And then this is what I'm saying, you can cheat. You know you did it right because one of the diagonals match. It doesn't have to be X though, it can be like a number. But one of them match, so then you can be like, oh, I did it like right, you know. So now you're just going to cross multiply. So you're going to get X squared equals, I'm actually going to multiply this out because it's 100. Because then I know the square root of 100 is 10. So I don't even have to do pairs, which is the best. Okay. And then now that you have the 10, put it in the picture. Because now you're going to use the 10 to do all the other ones. So like I'm going to find, okay, here's 10, here's 10, and that's it, I guess. So then it's like, okay, what do I want to solve for next? You know, like, can I get Y now, or can I get Z? You know what I mean? So like for this one, if you look at the small and the big, right? I think you could do first. You can try to get those ones. So for this one, like here we have 10 and 5, so you could get, well, wait, what am I doing here? Oh, you could do, yeah, the pink and the blue. Because you can do the short legs and the hypotenuse with the pink and the blue. So I'm going to do the small over the large. And there's other ways to do this too. Like you could use, you could technically solve for Z next if you wanted. But as long as you're trying to set up values, like here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the short leg of the small one with the short leg of the bigger one, with the hypotenuse of the small one, with the hypotenuse of the bigger one. So I did like here. I did 5 and y, and then hypotenuse, hypotenuse. And I know I did it right because the y's are on the diagonal, or there's like the same thing on the diagonal. So now I can just cross multiply and solve it. I'm going to keep these separated, 5 times 25, because I'm going to have to break them in the pairs anyway. I mean, you could multiply it to get 125, but then you're going to break it anyway into your pairs, so I'm just going to save a step. So 25 is 5 and 5. So your y is 5 root 5. And then we can throw that in there. And then as far for z, what do I want to do for z? I'm going to, because I don't really want to do the radical one. Because I could technically really compare it to any of them. But I'm going to do the medium and large, I think. Because if you do that one, come on, why isn't it releasing? If you do the medium and the large, you don't have to deal with the 5 root 5. Because I don't want to deal with that one. So this is the plan. I'm going to do long leg, hypotenuse, hypotenuse to get it. So I'm going to do medium over large, or what did I say, large? So I'm going to go 20 over z, so long leg, oops, over hypotenuse, over hypotenuse, and then cross. So it's like hardcore similar triangles, basically. So z squared equals 20 times 25. And then you're going to break up all the pairs. So we get 2, 2, 5, and then 2 more 5s. So we have 2 and 5, so what is that, 10? 10 root 5 is your z. Is there any questions at all where numbers are coming from? Okay, last one. Okay, small. Last one. Okay, if you're not sure which is the shorter leg, the small leg is always, with the shorter triangle, is always going to be 9, or you could just look at which one's bigger, 9 or 12. You know? So you have 9, 12, z. Then you're going to do the medium. Draw pics. Fun. That's 12 x, y, because I'm just looking at the legs for the right angle. So 12 is the short, medium is the long leg is x, and the hypotenuse is y, and then the giant. So that's this. So short leg, z, long leg, y, and hypotenuse is 9x, if you were that kid on the quiz. You know how the other one we added them, the 20 and 5, and got 25? This one is going to be x plus 9, so it's a little on the sassy side for this one. So it'll be x plus 9. Okay, now we got to figure out what we're even going to do here. So, let's see. Can I even do x first? Maybe. Oh, I can. Yeah, I can. The short medium. You see it? Long, you could do the legs. So you're going to do short or little bit. What have I been doing? Little? Small. Okay, small, medium. So that one, if I'll do long leg 12 over long leg x equals short leg 9 over short leg 12. And you're like, what? The x's aren't on the diagonal. It doesn't matter. It's as long as something matches on the diagonal, you're good. So now you're going to cross multiply. You don't even have to do radical stuff, which is the best. And you get 16. So now I'm going to put 16 in here. 16. Ooh, 16 plus 9. 25, right? 16 plus 9. Yeah. So now I'm going to use that to get all the other ones. So why don't you guys try to get the rest of them? So try to get Y, try to get Z. See if you can get it.